10 seconds, stand by, start with Scott. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Scott.
Another hearing is scheduled for today in the Delphi double murders case. Now at 4, why the defense is pushing for a longer timeline, and also the argument the state wants to prevent them from presenting.
Plus, fire crews on the city's northeast side battle an early morning apartment fire. We have a crew live at the scene working to learn more information. Fox 59 Morning News at 4 starts right now.
From Indiana's #1 news source, this is Fox 59 Morning News.
Today is the May primary in Indiana. Polls open in 2 hours at 6 a.m. Reminder, they will stay open until 6 p.m. And as long as you are in line by that cutoff time, you'll still be able to cast your ballot. There are a number of Republican races with several candidates. You can learn about all of them at fox59.com/infocus. Thanks for being with us this morning. I'm Lindy Paxton.
And I'm Scott Jones, along with Amber and Jim. As they say, vote early and vote often.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, that was in Chicago, back in the 60s or something like that. Exactly.
Well,
good day to get out?
Yeah, they might be in line.
Yeah, a little touch and go and at a few points during the day. We'll have a chance of rain this morning, a few thunderstorms around anywhere from really 8 a.m. till about 11 a.m. and then we'll get a break, and then we could see actually a healthier round by late afternoon into the early evening. So kind of an active day. Certainly it's going to keep us busy at times watching the radar. Fairly quiet out there right now, though. Again, that first round out towards the Midwest, that is weakening. So we're not worried about severe weather throughout the morning, although we could have a little bit of lightning and a wind gust. But that second round, certainly by late afternoon, early evening, with the the daytime heating between 2 o'clock and let's say 7 o'clock this evening, some of those storms certainly could be on the stronger side. Not much in the radar just yet. We're tracking a few light rain chances already out in Illinois.
So that energy, you
can see that line out towards the west. And again, that is certainly producing strong wind gusts and multiple warnings along that line. That line should continue.
Camera's good.
As it gets closer to us, and as I mentioned, that should arrive by mid to late morning. Then that second round comes in late afternoon. Currently at 64 here in downtown as we look to our day planner. In between the thunderstorm chances this morning, and then later on this afternoon, we should climb up to about 80 degrees. A lot to talk about today and tomorrow. We'll have details on all this coming up in a few minutes. All right, let's check it on traffic right now. Amber's got the latest.
All right, thank you so much, Jim. 402, and we aren't following any crashes at this time, so green showing up on the speed sensors on 465 and the surrounding interstate. Secondary roads moving fine at this point. If you are traveling in from the Fishers area,
live picks next with Lindy.
Southbound, between State Road 37 and 465, we're not seeing any major delays in that direction. I-70 and I-65 at the North Split. Traffic is moving well through the North Split. I-70 through Marion County, and also with I-65. 465 near West 21st Street. It's looking quiet this morning. If you are getting ready to head to the airport, you will want to factor in 14 minutes from downtown to the airport. Just right around 37 minutes from Fishers, and from Greenwood, 22 minutes for that drive time. Lindy?
Amber, thank you. Happening right now on Indy's northeast side, crews are investigating an apartment fire. Here's a live look at the residences on 56th Street. Right now, as you can see, they're still actively working. Details from them are limited, but we've been able to see smoke billowing from the apartment this morning. As you can see, it is destroyed. We've also seen a car destroyed in the parking area, which is underneath the apartment, which you'll see right here in a second. Now, IFD tells us that one firefighter was slightly injured. There's the vehicle right now. And three families, we've learned, have been displaced. So we'll keep you posted all morning long.
Scott.
IMPD is investigating after a man died in a crash and shooting on the city's south side. This happened yesterday afternoon at the corner of Railroad and Stop 11 on the city's south side. Police found a man inside a vehicle with gunshot wounds. He died on the scene. The incident follows a violent weekend where 3 people were killed and 4 more injured by gunfire in various shootings.
A man is dead after he was hit and killed while working in his
Video,
yard.
both anchors to the multi.
Witnesses say 58-year-old Mark Brown was edging his grass along 30th Street Sunday when a vehicle hit him. The driver sped off. Well, police say a witness followed the driver to his house. Brown had a broken leg and head injuries. He later died at the hospital.
Sunday.
I'm empty. My best friend's gone. But somebody that just hit him and run, at least attempt to run, that was awful.
Yep.
That's heartbreaking. According to court documents, Ariel Tremenio Lopez admitted he caused the crash and went home, he said, because he was scared. 4:05 happening today. The next hearing in the Delphi double murders case is scheduled to start at 9 o'clock this morning.
Fox 59's Cameron Riddle joining us now with a preview of what to expect as the trial for accused killer Richard Allen begins this month. Cameron?
Well, this is the newest mugshot of Richard Allen. His attorneys have requested a pretrial hearing to discuss the timeline of the trial, which they have an issue with. They argue that the 2.5-week schedule laid out by the judge may not be enough time to present their case. Allen is charged in the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German. The 2 girls were found dead in Delphi in 2017. We also expect this morning's hearing to cover a motion from the state to prevent the defense from presenting its alternative murder theory in court. The defense has suggested Odinists, followers of a pagan Nordic religion, committed the murders in a ritualistic killing. Jury selection is expected to begin in Allen County 6 days from now. Then the trial is expected to begin just days later in Carroll County. Again, this morning's hearing is at 9 a.m. in Fort Wayne. Fox 59's Russ McQuaid will be there. He'll have an update for us on air and online. This is a high-profile case that 7 years later is now receiving national attention. You can see our coverage on the investigation and how Abby and Libby are being remembered in Delphi at fox59.com. I'm Cameron Riddle, Fox 59 News.
Thank you, Cameron. A drunk driver who pleaded guilty to hitting and killing an IU student before driving off will spend a decade in prison. Madeline Howard pleaded guilty to killing 20-year-old Nate Stratton in September 2022. Court documents say her blood alcohol level was nearly 3 times the legal limit when she hit Stratton, who was riding an electric scooter. Witnesses told police Howard eventually stopped her car.
Back to Lindy next.
They say she tried to get people to get the scooter out from under her car so that she could keep driving. A judge sentenced Howard to 10 years in prison. Stratton's family also filed a civil suit against her and the Kilroy's bar where she drank that night. Later in our 8 o'clock hour, Angela's talking to the victims' parents about their thoughts on this sentencing.
We are learning more about a mall shooting up in Fort Wayne. Court documents say eye contact between a group of men led to this shooting. Fort Wayne police arrested 22-year-old Brandon Key Jr. for criminal recklessness, intimidation, and resisting law enforcement. Police say he was ordering food at the food court when he made eye contact with a group of men. That's when documents say cameras recorded him pulling out a black rifle. Another man also pulled out a gun and fired shots. One of those shots hit a woman in the foot. Police are still looking for that second man. Time right now, it's 4:08. A big celebration in Columbus.
More than 500 students participated in the district's DARE graduation. If you don't know, DARE stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. 6th graders participated in the program throughout the year with Columbus Police and Bartholomew County deputies.
To work together as a community, right? To combat it, and also education is a big part of it as well.
You know, one of the things we do talk about is drugs, but it's much bigger than that as well. We talk about general decision making, stress, how to make good choices, how to be around good people.
27 students also received medals at last night's ceremony for their essays on their DARE experience.
Plenty of celebrities in attendance for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Though the Pacers led most of the night, every single quarter except the fourth, In the end, it belonged to the Knicks. The Knicks used that late fourth quarter run paired with some controversial calls to beat the blue and gold 121 to 117.
Jesus, Knicks. Two shot, two videos, Jim.
And also reaction coming up in sports. Keep in mind, last time they won game one, it was a blowout, remember, in Milwaukee? And then they came back and won it. That one was a very close game.
That's true.
So I think we continue that, then we'll easily win the next one. Does that make sense?
I was bummed to wake up and see that.
I know. I watched it. I was like, Hey, Gen Z making up about 12% of the workforce, and they know what they want.
After the break, we're looking at what's setting Gen Z apart from other generations in the workplace.
Stand by, Jim.
An attempted shooting at a church caught on camera. Still ahead, what police learned about the suspect and also the quick thinking from church staff that may have saved lives.
Jim.
Scott, dry out there right now. Our Keller & Keller umbrella forecast, though, we could see 2 rounds of rain and thunderstorms. One coming in for the morning.
Go to break next.
Another one coming in later on this afternoon into the early evening. That second round certainly could bring some stronger thunderstorm. We'll talk more about that coming up in a few minutes.
3, 2, 1, fade it out.
A 33-year-old mystery.
She reminded me of just somebody's grandma.
Boxes and bags of evidence, but no suspect.
Who stabbed this defenseless elderly woman to death?
In the Unsolved, Wednesday at 6. What does it mean to be weather rate certified?
It means the weather that Central Indiana gets is the weather that we forecasted.
And our forecasts are certified most accurate in the city.
That's why you can trust the real leader, the Weather Authority.
Now at Menards, get an 11% rebate on everything for your next project. Duramax vinyl storage sheds provide plenty of storage space for all your yard work equipment. They're built to last with all-weather, maintenance-free vinyl. This 7x7 Duramax shed is just $49.99 after rebate. Build outdoor projects that last with our huge in-stock selection of quality AC2 pressure-treated lumber and decking. Load up easily using our drive-through lumber yard.
Save big money at Menards. When your favorite jeans suddenly feel old, donate them to Goodwill. We'll use the proceeds to help new moms raise healthier kids. Kids who will one day make you feel old. But at least you'll know the future's in great hands and jeans. And that's how good is made.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors, standing water or high humidity, nasty odors, or dangerous mold. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Basement Systems of Indiana.
Pregnant? Need help? You are not alone. Find free pregnancy support.
What's it mean to put America first? Ask Jefferson Shreve. Build an honest business. Employ neighbors and put your name on the line for them. Defend the sanctity of human life. Spend only what's needed. Finish the wall. Fix our border. Back our police with conviction. Owe nothing and no one but God above. And defy anyone who'd sell out this country. That's Jefferson Shreve. For law, order, and a secure border.
I'm Jefferson Shreve. I approve this message.
Keller & Keller and the Weather Authority want to keep you dry on rainy days. So go to fox59.com/contest to enter to win this stylish umbrella. And don't let a rainy day get you soaked.
1-800-2-KELLER. 10 seconds. Stand by, Lindy,
this
on
May,
1.
Race on in to DeBrand Fine Chocolates of Indianapolis.
And
Indiana
5,
is sponsored
4,
by your local grocer.
3,
at Needless
2,
Fresh Markets.
1.
You'll be delighted.
Lindy.
Welcome back. Have you seen this? A church pastor in Pittsburgh says he's thankful to be alive after a gunman entered his church during the service Sunday. The encounter was captured on video, and it could be disturbing to some.
Sunday.
And God had chose.
Jesus.
Yep.
This is the Jesus Dwelling Place Church.
Sun
It was
next to
live
B.
streaming its service when 26-year-old Bernard Polite made eye contact with the church pastor. He aimed a gun and pulled the trigger, but the gun jammed, and a member of the congregation tackled him. Reverend Glenn Germany then helped subdue the suspect until police arrived.
Son B.
Why he want to come and pull a gun, and if not be for God, and I'm so grateful. You know, he shot. You can hear the gun click. He shot, and he came towards me.
Wendy.
Investigators say the suspect came from a nearby home where they also found a 56-year-old relative dead from a gunshot wound. He says God told him to do it.
Time right now is 4:14. A judge finding Donald Trump for his 10th violation of a gag order, but this time threatens Trump with possible jail time if he does it again. The judge, Merchan, finding him another $1,000 for criticizing the jury. The judge said he would prefer a higher monetary fine, but New York law doesn't allow more than $1,000. So jail time may be necessary, he said. Trump is accused of falsifying business records in connection with hush money payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels. Yesterday, the former controller for the Trump Organization testified about how and why reimbursements for those payments were entered as a legal expense. Trump has entered a plea of not guilty. Time right now is 4:15. Gen Z is a generation of young people who were born between 1997 and 2012. They've recently entered the workforce and not without their own set of challenges.
We have a breakdown of what sets Gen Z apart when it comes to work.
And people don't show up. It's like
Gen Zers.
We'll have
we
the
think of them
shot
as
out of this at the
and
desk with
this,
Jim.
and this. They make up about 12% of workers in the U.S. And they've faced some unique situations. Many entered the workforce during or shortly after the COVID-19 pandemic, when most jobs were remote.
I just wanted to go over a couple of things with you.
Now, new research is showing working from home could be setting them back. An analysis of 2 million white-collar workers by Live Data Technologies found remote workers received 31% fewer promotions than colleagues who are in the office. And another survey found 87% of chief executives at big companies favored in-office workers. Missed work due to mental health concerns is another trend among Generation Z workers. An analysis found Gen Z employees are missing the equivalent of about 1 day's work every week due to mental health concerns. While only 6 of these 50 days were taken off completely, staff that did come to work struggled to achieve anything in the office.
10.
Another difference with Gen Z is that work-life balance is more important than salary.
Stand by the 3 shot.
It's the #1 factor to consider when choosing
Where's
a
Jim?
job for 38% of them.
3 shot. Where's Jim?
I was Wayne.
All right.
Couldn't apply to us. We're all Gen Xers up here.
I was Gen Z. I just came in a little late.
It's all right.
Nap Z.
What do you think about all that? What do you wrap your head around it? I mean,
you did the story. Good job, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Read that really well.
Right.
I mean, it's hard for me to keep track of what generation's what.
Right.
With all the
That's
names
true.
and stuff, to be honest.
We're all X. But
right.
After that, it was like millennials, because they didn't really say Y. You know what I mean? Gen X, Gen Millennials, Gen Z.
Right.
And then the current one's like Alpha.
Is that what it is? Okay, I didn't.
Yeah, because the other one ends at 2012.
I'm also part of that. There's like a 2 or 3 year group of people who are like kind of like the lost ones who didn't grow up with the tech but sort of did, but also not, and you're just kind of left out there hanging. Like I can't do anything.
Where do I belong in this?
I know.
I want to have a label.
Yeah.
I get it. All right, 4:17, guys.
Go to
Hey,
the
it could
wall.
be a little busy around here later on today. Let's show what's going on out there right now to begin our morning. We'll start you out with a quick live look at Guardian Radar. And not much happening around the area just yet, so a lot of the morning rush hour looks mainly dry. I say mainly because there could be 1 or 2 isolated showers that sneak on in here before we watch this round that is weakening make its way into Indiana. We think by late morning, around 10, 11 o'clock, that should be making its way through central Indiana. And again, weakening. It's the second round that gets going later on this afternoon. If we get that sunshine going and certainly destabilize things, we could have that second round that certainly brings some stronger thunderstorms, it looks like, for the latter part of the afternoon into the early evening. So a lot going on. 64, our current reading here in downtown. Up to a mild start, still a little bit cooler off towards the north into the northeast. And our highs later on today will be warming up to about 80 degrees here in downtown. In between that first round and the second round, things will start to warm up. Now, as we look to our futurecast models, I mentioned that line out towards the west. You can see around 9 a.m. just heading into Illinois, eastern Illinois. So around 11:30, we could have rain and a few thunderstorms coming on through. That pushes through. There's a break on through, it looks like the early afternoon. And it's that second round that comes on in here around the evening rush hour. And these are the storms that certainly could produce wind damage, larger sized hail, even an isolated tornado threat. As you'll notice, we are highlighted under an enhanced risk now from Indy out towards Fort Wayne. That includes Cincinnati, and farther off towards the south, down towards Louisville. So this is the late afternoon event. We'll have to watch these storms closely. As I mentioned, primarily a wind and hail threat. Not much of a flooding threat, but one or two of these storms could be rotating, so that tornado threat certainly is there for this afternoon. And again, another chance, it looks like, for tomorrow, mainly south of India. As we take a look at our forecast, 7 o'clock through 9 p.m., still some storms on the radar that could impact some outdoor plans. Early tomorrow morning, off to a dry start, a little bit of patchy fog. We crank up the warmth tomorrow, back up into the mid to lower 80s. Now that storm threat for tomorrow on our Wednesday doesn't get here till late Wednesday and going into early on Thursday morning. So these are the storms that we're talking about, and a lot of the concentration on that will be staying to the south. But from Indy off towards the south, we certainly could be looking at more severe weather. So a couple of rounds to contend with. And of course, we'll stay up to date on the radar, and you can always download that Weather Authority app, kind of keep track of those warnings in your neighborhood, your county. As you'll notice our 7-day forecast now, 83 degrees tomorrow, 68 behind the front on Thursday as rain chances start to taper. Friday still looks dry but cooler, and the weekend forecast still intact with that rain chance on Saturday, but dry for Mother's Day.
Thanks, Jim. For the first time since 2014, the Pacers are in the Eastern Conference semifinals.
Ahead in your morning sports highlights from a very close game in New York. What the head coach Rick Carlisle is saying about the road ahead.
All the way up top. Busher, he's on the outside. He's in position. He's got it. And here comes Truex. They're going to close right to the two leaders. Coming to the line. Crash together. I believe Busher.
Yep, in the blue car. Play that's been talked about all over social media a lot because of that big old bump. A wild photo finish between drivers Kyle Larson and Chris Buescher, who were neck and neck down the final turn of NASCAR Advent Health 400 at Kansas Speedway. Buescher, thought he won, but Larson edged him out by less than an inch, winning by 1/1000th of a second. That's right. It's the closest finish in the history of the NASCAR Cup Series. Wow.
Here's a cup. Standby brake. 3, 2, 1, and fade it out.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Tom Wood Collision Center.
Brake will go straight into sports.
The future is right here. The biggest job creating projects Indiana's ever seen. So big, the career politicians couldn't even understand them. So they attacked them. I landed projects like these because they'll transform our economy and lift Hoosiers up. But if Mike Braun or Suzanne Crouch were in charge, none of these high-paying jobs would be coming. Real leadership takes vision and courage. I'm Brad Chambers. As governor, I'll do what the career politicians can't. Think big.
This bathroom's so musty.
David's new fast-acting drop-in tab attracts and traps excess moisture, eliminating musty odors.
Of course, the GMC Terrain offers different drive modes. What about Weekend Warrior mode? Or you don't see that every day mode? How about out of the office mode? Or even...
Are you out of your mind?
Mode. Want a mode for everything? Sign and Drive is here. Current eligible GMC lessees can get this ultra-low mileage lease on this all-wheel drive Terrain SLE for around $359 per month with zero due at signing. Sign and drive one home today.
At Jack's Donuts, we've been making handmade fresh donuts and coffee daily since 1961. With 30 different varieties at 26 Central Indiana locations, it's always time to enjoy one. Plus specialty roast coffee. Jack's Donuts, open early every day.
Hoosiers have a choice on who they send to Washington and deserve to know the facts before voting. Jefferson Shreve caves to the radical left on our values and is a never-Trump moderate. Jamison Carrier, well, he filed for bankruptcy, owing thousands in tax liens, claims his primary residence is in Florida, voted there this last election. I'm Mike Speedy, and I approve this message. By the grace of God, I beat
5,
cancer.
4,
and with your help,
3,
we can beat these lying
2,
politicians
1,
and save America.
Hey, good morning. I'm Chris Hagan. We're talking NBA playoffs. The Pacers into the second round for the first time since 2014. Game one of their best of 7 with the Knicks tipping off last night in the Big Apple. The 8th time these two have met in the postseason. Always some crazy things happening. And here's more proof. Into the first half, Tyrese Halliburton, step back three, makes it a 9-point game, but still time on the clock, and Isaiah Hartenstein takes advantage. From behind half court, the three goes. You got to be kidding me. Tyrese says, ouch. 6-point lead at the break. Third quarter, Indiana on the run. Obi Toppin, look out below between the legs. That's fancy and worth another look. Obi, the former slam dunk champion, yeah, he still got it. Into the third, Miles Turner's chance to play beat the buzzer. 3 of his team-high 23. Pacers up 5 going to the fourth. But less than a minute to play. It's tied. Dante DiVincenzo knocks down the huge 3. Indiana still in it, down 1. And look at this call. Illegal screen on Miles Turner. Controversy ends it. Knicks take game 1, 121-117.
We're not expecting to get calls in here. You know, it'd be nice if they laid off that one, but they didn't. So, you know, that's just the way it goes. We challenged it, they reviewed it, they got a bunch of people in New Jersey that agreed with them, so.
DiVincenzo did a good job of selling it, and, you know, for the most part, you can't leave the game to be decided by the refs. So we have to take accountability as well.
Caitlin Clark's Fieldhouse debut comes Thursday night with a fever, but last night she was on the red carpet at Newfields for a world premiere. The top pick, part of a documentary series called Full Court Press, highlighting 3 college hoopsters, produced by Peyton Manning's Omaha Productions.
I really enjoyed getting to know Caitlin even more throughout this series. She was a guest on our show, the Monday Night Show last year. She's a Chiefs fan. I forgive her for that, but she said she did grow up kind of watching me play, and she's going to love Indianapolis. I gave her all my contacts at the airport, at St. Elmo's, some things behind the ropes, things here in Indianapolis, and it's a great place for her to play. I'm looking forward to watching her.
Go to the tees.
With your hoops update, I'm Chris.
Two-shot.
Chris, thank you very much. Today, if you didn't know, it's primary election day. Polls open in a little over an hour and a half from now.
Ahead at 4:30, our Kit Hanley's live with everything you need to know before heading out to cast your vote.
Jim. All right, out the door right now. Dry conditions being enjoyed. A mild start as well. We will see, it looks like, rain and a few thunderstorms by mid-morning. A second round comes in for the afternoon into the early evening. In between, though, we warm up to 80. We'll have more from the radar coming up in a few minutes.
Music up. Go Jim. Go to break next. And 3, 2, 1, fade it out.
My grandfather was a preacher, and he taught me, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. That's why I'm offering a better, bolder vision for our future. We'll defend life and promote adoption. We'll rebuild our main streets and help every community grow. And we'll make our neighborhoods safer. Career politicians have not and will not change things, but I can and I will. I'm Eric Doden, and I'd be honored to have your vote.
Hi, I'm Dr. Matthew Lavery. Whether you're a competitive athlete or a weekend warrior, you've had a sports injury and you want to know how to treat it, watch us today at 8 a.m.
Fox 59 invites you to be our guest at 1830 Chop House, located in nearby Lebanon, featuring great food and a one-of-a-kind boutique event center that you can book for your next event. Watch Indy Now Thursday to dine out and save half.
Visit Pella of Indianapolis Experience Center at 96th Street.
The excellence of driving a Buick is matched by the excellence of the dealership experience when you own a Buick. Buick, exceptional by design.
Sign and Drive is here. Current eligible Buick and GMC lessees get this ultra-low mileage lease on this 2024 Encore GX Preferred for around $283 per month with zero due at signing.
Liberals want to change America, open our borders, and defund the police. I won't stand for it. I'm proudly endorsed by President Trump. He knows I'm the only one who can stand up to the radical left. Keep Hoosiers safe and secure. We'll protect our values and freedoms. I've spent my life getting things done. We'll make the Hoosier state better than ever.
Businessman, outsider, conservative. Mike Braun for governor.
You used to love these jeans. Now they just feel
30
old.
out.
So donate them to your local nonprofit Goodwill. With the proceeds from selling them, we'll support programs like Goodwill's Nurse Family Partnership, which helps low-income new moms raise healthier kids.
Kids who will one day buy jeans like these at Goodwill and brag about their great vintage find. In other words, kids who will make you feel old. But at least you'll know the future's in great hands. And jeans. And that's how good is made.
Stand by. Start with Lindy in
More people
5,
start their
4,
day with
3,
FOX59
2,
Morning News.
1. Bring her up.
Sorry. Welcome back. The biggest celebrities from film, fashion, music, sports, politics, and social media dazzled at the Met Gala in New York City. Last night's guest list included Dua Lipa, Jennifer Lopez, Zendaya, Chris Hemsworth, Gigi Hadid, and many others. I was just online looking at the pictures. In WNBA rookie Angel Reese spending her 22nd birthday at the event. She posted yesterday on X, formerly known as Twitter, saying, "Training camp in the morning, Met Gala at night, preseason game tomorrow." The theme of this year's gala was the Garden of Time.
Fabulous.
Busy day.
Yeah.
That is a busy day.
Crackers, Met Gala.
They're up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds
like my day.
Yeah, I got up.
All right.
I barely did.
Good. All right, good pictures. All right, we're at 4:30,
Good
guys.
graphics.
Hey, right now we're off to a
Amber's
dry start.
next.
We'll continue to watch rain kind of advance in from the Midwest. We'll see our first round that is weakening. Head in here, it looks like by mid to late morning. So grab that umbrella. You'll need it at some point throughout the morning. There could be a second round likely redeveloping here between 2 o'clock and about 7 o'clock this evening. So it's that late afternoon, early evening, that second round that we'll really have to pay attention to, at least in central and eastern Indiana, going into the latter part of the day. Not much on the radar right now. We are tracking light rain chances out through eastern Illinois. The main line, though, you can certainly see that is just entering Illinois. That will continue to weaken, but still some lightning and a stronger wind gust could be in the mix here by mid to late morning, as I mentioned, with that first round coming on in. We're at 64 in downtown, still some 50s up towards the north and east. And looking at our day planner, one round comes through. We'll get that break around 1 o'clock. Dry conditions back up to 80 today as the storms start to redevelop across central Indiana. We'll talk more about today's weather, break that down, look ahead to another round perhaps coming in late tomorrow afternoon into the evening. All that in a few minutes. Amber.
All right, thank you, Jim. At this point in the morning, we are still accident-free, and based on what we're seeing on the speed sensors, no noticeable slowdowns on 465 and the surrounding interstates this morning. Your drive from Greenwood, northbound 65 from County Line Road to 465, average speed running at 65 miles per hour, and it's still looking quiet on the city
two-shot anchors next.
Near Pendleton Pike, and we're not following any issues at I-70 and I-65 at the city's north split, and even throughout Marion County, I-70 and I-65. No delays if you are getting ready to head out in the next few minutes. 465 eastbound from 865 to Allisonville Road, 11 minutes for that drive time. 10 minutes I-70 eastbound from the airport to the south split, and then 10 minutes I-65 from 465 to Meridian Street. Scott?
Amber, thank you. We have new information on what led to a deadly road rage shooting on Indy's south side.
Court documents reveal the suspect admitted to shooting a fellow driver on I-65. 35-year-old Ryan Hawkins was killed in the shooting last week. Court documents show Andre Brisky told investigators he shot Hawkins because he was following too closely and then brake checking him. He told police he shot 3 times and regrets doing it. Brisky was arrested for murder. A woman in the car, Shauna Rowland,
Stand by, Scott.
is facing charges of assisting a criminal and obstruction of justice.
IMPD has arrested a teenager and are looking for a second suspect in a carjacking and police chase on the near north side. Officers responded to the carjacking on Central Avenue Sunday evening. The victim said they'd been robbed and carjacked by 2 armed teenagers who asked them for a ride. The victims say the teens pulled out guns, pointed them at the driver, and forced them out of the vehicle before driving off. Officers found the car and tried to stop it, but they say the suspect drove off. There was a short chase before the car crashed near 38th and Meridian. The 16-year-old suspect was arrested. The other teen suspect has not been found.
This week, one of Indianapolis's most popular programs for teenage boys is taking registrations for its summer empowerment program. This will be the 30th year for the camp, led by Young Men Inc. Among the camp lessons, respect, what to do if police pull you over, the dangers of guns, At the end of the 8 weeks, attendees have an awards banquet, a trip to an amusement park, and if they're in high school, they get to take tours of college campuses.
Son B.
Young Men Incorporated, we exist to really, number one, to love them, to let them know that they are in a safe place here at Young Men Incorporated, here in this building.
Lindy.
The camp costs $85. That's a good deal if you're familiar with summer camp prices. We have sign-up information on FOX59.com.
Scott.
Time right now is 4:34. Changes for drivers on I-465. They have been delayed. It's unclear why. NDOT now saying ramp metering will start on or after next Tuesday.
Video.
Ramp metering will tell traffic along some I-465 on-ramps on the southeast side of Indianapolis. Wind emerged during peak travel times. Ramp meters act like traffic lights. You are required to obey the red, yellow, and green just like you would any traffic signal.
Anchors up.
Fox 59 is your local election headquarters.
Stand by your
move. It is time for voters to pick who they want to see on November's ballot.
It's primary election day here in central Indiana, and many will make their way to the polls to cast their vote.
To the Jib,
Fox 59's Kit Hanley is live downtown at the City County building, which also serves as a polling location with what's at stake today, Kit.
Live.
Lindy, Scott, good morning. People will start to file in here over the next few hours to cast their vote in this year's primary election. But the most anticipated race of the day is the race for Indiana governor. Here's a little background on that particular category. There are 6 candidates vying to be the Republican nominee for governor in Indiana. Now, these candidates include Mike Braun, Brad Chambers, Suzanne Crouch, Eric Doden, Curtis Hill, and Jamie Rettenauer. Current Governor Eric Holcomb cannot run again due to term limits. He's already served 8 years in office. But Holcomb is not endorsing anyone in the race. And at last check, Mike Braun was the heavy favorite, leading by double digits in every poll. However, the remaining nearly 40% of Republican voters said they were still undecided only 2 months ago. Republican nominees say today is all about closing that gap in hopes that it will lead to their respective victory.
We wanted to let Marion County and the undecided voters here know that we need them on our side.
Kip.
The winner of the primary election today will go up against the sole Democratic candidate, Jennifer McCormick. McCormick will give a formal response to the Republican primary immediately following the final count.
And we know it's incredibly crowded on the other side. And
Stand by, back
there's
live.
a lot on the line, but we welcome whomever that is. We're ready to
live.
go.
Now, polls will open in just a few hours at 6 a.m. this morning, and they'll run until 6 p.m. this evening.
Video
and you just have to be in line at or before 6 p.m. with a valid driver's license to cast your vote today. For more information on the polling locations, just visit our website. For now, reporting live downtown Indianapolis, Kit Hanley, Fox 59 News.
Thank you, Kit. Fort Wayne is celebrating the opening of its new designated outdoor refreshment area, better known as DORA. It allows alcoholic beverages to be purchased at participating locations, and people can carry and drink those beverages outdoors through a clearly marked area. The beverages must be in DORA cups from approved vendors.
I think it's great supporting these local businesses, being able to sip and shop or enjoy different places and just hang out with your friends and have some live music and good vibes.
Lindy.
The city of Noblesville could soon have its own DORA. The city council approved it last month. The state still needs to approve it. If the commission does, this could go into effect as early as this summer. You can read more on the Hamilton County proposal on FOX59.com.
This was up there to their DORA.
We'll have 2 videos, Jim, and then we'll animate to break.
Oh. Well, I was getting my taxes done. That's where I get my taxes done in April.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
If you've changed your go-to spot for a bite to eat with the family, you're not alone.
In fact, higher food prices have people changing their habits. Ahead in Money Matters, Fox 59's Zach Myers explaining the changes people are making and how big business is being impacted.
And the drink you choose to kick off your day with says a lot about you after the break. How personality, beverages, and zodiac signs go hand in hand.
Jim.
All right, Lindy, out the door right now, enjoying dry conditions out there. You can certainly see that line of thunderstorms out just near St. Louis. That will continue the weekend as it heads towards us, but certainly a rain chance here by mid to late morning. We'll talk more about that and that second round that heads in here for the late afternoon into the evening. All the details coming up.
The Traffic Authority, powered by Tom Wood Automotive.
Call your trusted local roofing experts at Beer Roofing and Exteriors for a free inspection today.
Mike Speedy talks tough on the border, but what's a better measure of the man? What he says or what he's done? Did you know Speedy forced you to pay tuition for illegals? That's right, he spent your tax dollars on college degrees for illegal immigrants, and Speedy gave them driver's licenses too. He can pose on the border for the camera, but on the record, he chose illegals, not us. On immigration, Mike Speedy sold us out.
I'm Jefferson Shreve, and I approve this message.
Finally, spring has sprung and the weather's getting nice. Pat Sullivan here from Sullivan Hardware and Garden and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan. Our stores are blooming with perennials, annuals, shrubs, trees, and much more. We also specialize in excellent quality, mid-price patio furniture, like all-weather wicker, Berlin Gardens poly, cast aluminum teak, and more. During our Memorial Day sale, save 30% off all patio furniture. Shop, play, experience. Spring with Sullivan's.
The Fox 59 Garden Guru is sponsored by McCammon's Irish Market.
After an accident with a truck, the sooner you act, the better. Crucial evidence and eyewitness accounts can make a huge difference in your case.
I needed someone experienced in truck accident cases.
Keller and Keller. You're going to need a law firm with resources and experience. This may be your one opportunity for justice. Tell them you mean business.
They got me a lot more than I thought I'd get.
1 minute out.
Call 1-800-2-KELLER. Keller and Keller. Right now.
My grandfather was a preacher, and he taught me, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. That's why I'm offering a better, bolder vision for our future. We'll defend life and promote adoption. We'll rebuild our main streets and help every community grow. And we'll make our neighborhoods safer. Career politicians have not and will not change things, but I can and I will. I'm Eric Doden, and I'd be honored to have your vote.
Bob Evans Farmer Jokes.
How does a blueberry talk on the
20
phone?
out.
Bluetooth.
We're talking berries. Bob Evans' new fresh berry recipes, starting at $6.99. Just $6.99 at the Farmhouse Kitchen.
Everything Indy
in just 1 hour.
Well, and everything Carmel.
Brownburg.
Avon.
Zionsville.
We got everything
Stand
in
by
Greenwood.
in 5,
really.
4, 3,
Kokomo,
2,
Pictures.
1. Animate anchors.
Welcome back in Money Matters. High food prices are causing more shoppers to change their habits, like where they shop and where they go out to eat.
Some of those changes are costing some big brands on their bottom lines. Fox 59 Zach Myers is here now with more. Good morning, Zach.
Good morning, guys. While inflation is gradually slowing, food prices are still increasing, and it is causing people to make some different choices about where they shop and where they eat. And years of increasing prices have Americans ditching big brands, according to a new Wall Street Journal report. It says Americans are maxed out on food prices at grocery stores, restaurants, fast food, and specialty eat and drink places. Some loyalty programs are being dropped by consumers, and orders at some drive-thrus and kiosks are down. More grocery shoppers are leaving big-name brands on store shelves because of shrinkflation and those higher prices. Some big grocery, fast food, and specialty places saw first quarter sales drop this year. As a result, some companies may start using more deals and promotions, even if it costs them financially. Now, back in February, Purdue did a national survey that showed 64% of Americans expect food prices to keep increasing for the next 12 months. And that's what the USDA is also predicting. The USDA predicts overall food prices will increase by 2.2% this year. Now, that is down from last year when food prices went up 5.8%, and it's way down from 2022 when food prices went up 9.9%, the fastest since 1979. Still, even as price increases are slowing, it appears that the long-term effect of higher prices are driving some consumers to look for cheaper options. For Money Matters, I'm Zach Myers.
Thank you, Zach. The well-known green-capped maker of sriracha has halted production. That's sparking fears of another shortage of the popular hot sauce. Hui Fong Foods say they stopped making sriracha because the red jalapeno peppers they've been using for the latest editions aren't red enough. In fact, they're too green, which would affect the color of the sauce. Production is not expected to resume until after Labor Day when the next chili season starts. However, Competing sriracha makers say they have not noticed such an issue with the red jalapeno peppers.
McDonald's is planning to launch something big. The fast food chain recently announced plans to release what it calls a, quote, larger, more satiating burger this year. It is in response to decreased customer traffic in the first quarter here in the U.S. as well as globally. The CEO says some of its markets are losing out to competition such as Wendy's. The bigger version of McDonald's famous Big Mac will include 4 patties, more Big Mac sauce, and a double portion of pickles. Sounds super healthy. It's not clear where the larger Big Macs will be sold as of yet.
4 patties.
I know.
What you drink in the morning could tell a lot about what you're like the rest of the day. Researchers surveyed thousands of people and found people who drink coffee are more likely to sleep in and choose to chill at home rather than socialize. Those who preferred matcha are more adventurous and like to get up and get moving and seize the day. Researchers say it also comes back to your zodiac sign, apparently. Matcha drinkers are more likely to be fire signs or water signs. Meanwhile, earth signs and air signs were more prone to drink coffee.
Since when do we start calling tea matcha?
There's a matcha tea.
I don't know, but I think there's definitely something
coffee
to that.
Tea.
I drink coffee. I'm more of an earthy air guy, and then my
I've
daughters
said that about you.
both like matcha, and they're both fiery.
See, that's true.
Research right there.
I'm buying in on this concept right now.
What if you drink
Except
cocoa?
they're adventurous, is they go out and get the matcha, then they drink it, then they go home and take a nap. So,
I would say that's adventurous.
yeah, teenagers.
Love it.
I love it. All right, 4:45, guys. Hey, we're tracking light rain out through Illinois. Bigger line actually is farther out towards the west. We'll continue to watch that inbound here by mid to late morning. Not much going on just yet, which is great. A nice dry start. We'll take that and run with it. Again, we could see 1 or 2 isolated showers during the morning rush hour, but we think this main line will continue to weaken, but will hold together and eventually get here by late morning. We were thinking around 10:30, 11 a.m. here in downtown. Downtown might be around noon, so the timing a little tough on this, but I think this will hold together. Again, weakens though, and could put down a 1/4 of an inch, maybe a 1/2 inch rain in a few locations, and still a little bit of lightning with it. It's the second round that gets going here late afternoon into the early evening. That certainly gives us that better potential for severe weather with damaging winds and larger size hail and a few of those thunderstorms. More on that coming up. 64, our current reading outside, not bad to begin our Tuesday. As I mentioned, pretty mild. Temperatures in between the thunderstorms today should climb up to about 80 degrees here in downtown. As we look to our futurecast, let's time it out now. Again, dry through the majority of the morning rush hour. You can see around 9:30, still not much going on. We'll stop at around noontime today. Rain and thunderstorms coming on through. These are the weakening storms that are pushing from the west currently out of Illinois. That will come on through. We get a break, and then we'll start to throw in daytime heating. So we'll get up to about 80. That's going to destabilize things and then get these thunderstorms going around 4 or 5 o'clock tonight here. And then you can see even by 9 o'clock this evening, these storms are exiting. So that severe weather potential will exist certainly for, it looks like, Indy and mainly to the east of Indy. So areas like Muncie, Newcastle, Richmond, Connorsville, down through Shelbyville, Rushville will have a better chance of damaging winds and larger sized hail compared to our western counties. We'll watch this throughout the morning into the afternoon. And again, that second round, the timing between about 2 o'clock and 9 o'clock this evening. Wind and hail are bigger issues. As we look ahead to later on tonight, storm chances start to wind down. Patchy fog early tomorrow morning. A lot of warmth on the way tomorrow. And really a great day on Wednesday. We'll have sunshine and temperatures hitting the mid to lower 80s. That second round of severe weather, it looks like, gets in here late tomorrow night. And right now, it looks like that higher concentration is going to stay from Indy and points off towards the south. So that higher concentration down through Kentucky and about the southern half of Indiana. And that's going to be late tomorrow evening and into early on Thursday morning. Then things begin to cool down. As we look to our 7-day forecast, 83 degrees tomorrow, 68 on Thursday. Friday looks dry. Saturday, those rain chances still around Saturday afternoon. Sunday for Mother's Day, still dry with a high at 64. Amber?
All right, thank you, Jim. We have our first crash of the morning. It's in the westbound lanes of I-70 near Franklin Road. So this is just outside of 465 where we have the right shoulder and the right lane that is blocked due to this crash activity just coming in within the last couple of minutes. I will say we're not seeing major slowdowns associated with that crash activity at this point, but just be on the lookout if you are traveling in that direction here in the next half an hour or so. Again, westbound I-70 at Franklin Road. There is a crash at that location, not following any other issues on the interstates this morning. Your drive from Boone County between Lebanon and 865, average speed running at 69 miles per hour. We're now looking at 465 near Emerson Avenue, where traffic's getting a little bit busier, but we're not following any problems in the eastbound and westbound lanes of 465 through that area. Lindy?
Thanks, Amber. We've all heard about the benefits of going for a walk, but fitness experts say there's more we can do.
Yeah, much more. So that was the last segment. Ahead in your news you can use the 2 other types of movements you can incorporate to improve your health.
First, though, FOX59 wants to wish a happy birthday. Today's shout out goes to Dalen. Your message says happy 18th birthday, kiddo. So proud of all your accomplishments and can't wait to see what all you do. Love you.
If you have a birthday wish to share, just visit fox59.com/happy-birthday. Post their name, the birth date, and your shout out, and we will get them on the air.
Go. We'll go to break next. 3, 2, 1, and fade out.
Feels good to be home. Ashley's Memorial Day mattress sale is going on now. For a limited time, get a free adjustable base with any mattress purchase, or save up to $800 on select adjustable mattress sets, including the all-new Tempur-Adapt for better sleep and savings. Shop Ashley today.
Our mom is Victoria Sparks.
I'm sure you've seen the crazy lies about her on TV.
Again.
Let us tell you the truth.
Mom has been through so much.
She came to America with everything in one suitcase, became a CPA, businesswoman, and a member of Congress.
She's our role model. In Congress, she fights for conservative values and a better future for all of us.
I'm Victoria Sparks, and I approve this message because it is the best endorsement a mom could ask for.
This bathroom's so musty.
Everybody damp red.
Dampred's new fast-acting drop-in tab attracts and traps excess moisture, eliminating musty odors.
Everybody damp red.
Think of the most fun you've ever had, because if life's a journey,
1 minute out.
This is the destination at Four Winds Casinos, South Bend, New Buffalo, Hartford, and Dowagiac. Visit fourwindscasino.com.
Hoosier Mobility Solutions. Come to one of our showrooms today.
Hoosiers have a choice on who they send to Washington and deserve to know the facts before voting. Jefferson Shreve caves to the radical left on our values and is a never-Trump moderate. Jamison Carrier, well, he filed for bankruptcy, owing thousands of tax liens, claims his primary residence is in Florida, voted there this last election. I'm Mike Speedy, and I approve this message. By the grace of God, I beat cancer, and with your help, we can beat these lying politicians and save America.
Feels good to be home. Ashley's Memorial Day mattress sale is going on now. For a limited time, get a free adjustable base with any mattress purchase, or save up to $800 on select adjustable mattress sets, including the all-new Tempur-Adapt for better sleep and savings. Shop Ashley today.
Bring them up.
Welcome back. It is now 4:53, and we are here with news you can use.
The top health and consumer stories just for you. Gas stoves could be sickening tens of thousands of Americans by exposing them to harmful levels of nitrogen dioxide. Researchers say exposure to toxins from gas or propane can irritate the respiratory system and exacerbate illnesses. More than a third of U.S. households, or about 50 million, have a gas or propane stove, especially disadvantaged communities. According to the study, those living in residences less than 800 square feet are exposed to 4 times more nitrogen dioxide compared to those in 3,000 plus square feet.
A newly released survey is showing that fewer renters think they will be one-day homeowners. Now, according to the survey from the New York Federal Reserve, just 13.4% of renters believe they'll be able to afford their own home in the future. That is down from 15% of renters last year and more than 20% 10 years ago. Many blame housing costs and high interest rates. The majority also say it's difficult to obtain a mortgage. They expect their rental costs to increase by nearly 10% over the next year. I do remember when my parents bought their first home, at least when I was a kid, the interest rate was 16%.
Really?
16%. So your $100,000 house actually cost you about $500,000 by the time you're done paying it.
Wow.
Then again, you also got great CD rates.
If you're looking to cut your risk of cancer, you may want to consider taking some of these items off the menu. Say goodbye to lunch meat sandwiches and charcuterie boards, and that's the truth. Processed meats like sausage, salami, and ham can increase cancer risk. Also avoid alcohol. Drinking any form of beer, wine, or spirit increases your risk of mouth, throat, esophagus, plus liver and bowel cancer. Experts with the World Health Organization say it's impossible to avoid every carcinogen, but cutting back on these can help lower your risk.
A simple walk is a good.
They're just trying to stop me from having too much fun.
Some fitness experts say there are two other types of movements the body really needs for good health. The second is an athletic type of movement, stretching, yoga, or Pilates. That helps muscles stay loose and improves balance and stability. The third type of fitness is more mental and emotional than physical. That is social movement. Connect with others and go do fun things like dancing or playing volleyball, they say. Volleyball always makes me super happy. Actually, it just makes me feel like, gosh, it's hard to jump in sand.
Two of us. Let's play volleyball.
Can't jump in sand.
If you're feeling stressed, just go outside and look up.
Yeah, and play volleyball.
A new study finds bird watching can help improve mental health. Researchers say people who have nature-based experiences report better well-being and lower psychological stress. Bird watching in particular yielded promising results with higher gains in well-being and more reduction in stress than simply being in nature. Those who saw the most benefit were the participants who were assigned 30-minute bird watching sessions. You go out to Eagle Creek Park, don't you?
I have been, yeah, before.
One time I went out there, there are quite a few bird watchers.
Oh, yeah.
With their really nice binoculars and stuff.
I don't know what the birds think. Like, how about you stop creeping on me?
At me. I know what that's
staring at me, Swan. If you're planning on some spring cleaning, the U.S. Postal Service says, do not forget your mailbox.
We just redid ours this weekend.
Did you really? Oh, did you pretty it up on the outside and stuff? Paint it maybe? Hey, the third week of May has officially been designated Mailbox Improvement Week. The Postal Service says it asks box owners every year to fix up their slots and their hinges. Other suggested improvements include repainting rusted or peeling boxes, remounting loose posts, and or replacing and adding house numbers as well.
Well, we put a little landscaping and stuff out there. I mean, it was like 10 years overdue. We should have done it when we moved in, but
I think
life happened.
Those are great ideas, especially if you're going to use like a weed eater right around them. I've seen so many of the posts like this, and at the bottom they're like this big because the weed eater just keeps taking it away.
Yes.
Yeah, put some landscaping around.
There's much more news ahead in the next hour. A small town working to rebuild after the tornadoes.
The hundreds of dollars in donations that are now grounded in one Indiana community still ahead.
Stand by, go to break next. 3, 2, 1, and fade out.